I'm your BFF. You're a BFD. I love the way you shine, it reflects off me. I know you've been working hard all week. Sit down on my couch and enjoy yourself. And this is the theme song. And this is the theme song for you. And this is the theme song. And this is the theme song. It goes B-E-S-T. B-E-S-T. B-E-S-T.
Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome to your best friend Carl. I am your best friend Carl. How y'all doing? How was your week? Huh? Are you a little bummed? A little excited? A little happy? A little sad? I don't know. Let me know. Add a comment. Let's talk about it. Yeah? Or not? So today, guess what?
Look, we got a guest. Look, we got a guest. Look, we got a guest.
Alright.
Look, we got a guest. Who it is?
I don't know.
Say who it is.
I don't know.
Who it is?
I don't know.
Carl, who it is?
I don't know. Yes, I do. We got my main man. My brother. From another mother. From another planet, really. Because he ain't like y'all. He ain't like me. He ain't like nobody I've ever met before. He's cooler than a fan. Cooler than the other side of the pillow. Cooler than this nice ice cold water I'm drinking right now. It's my boy Chris Taing, everybody. Christopher Taing. What's up, man?
What's going on, brother?
What's going on, y'all? Hey, now, so for those of y'all who don't know, Chris Taing is he was my confidant, my bestie, F the restie, when we were stationed together in Germany, ex-military. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get a good. There we go. There's like laughter with that too. Let me get the applause.
Yeah, it sounds like they're clowning me right now.
Yeah, it did. It did sound like they was clowning you, dog. That's my fault. That's my fault. There it is. Man, what is going on with you, buddy?
Not much. What's going on, brother?
Man, nothing much, man. I'm sitting here surviving.
Aren't we all?
I said that yesterday. I said surviving, and the cat was like, and thriving, I hope. And I said,
No.
surviving, baby.
Let's just take a step at a time.
How about surviving and climbing, right? Surviving
Yeah.
and climbing, and one day we will be thriving, and you all will enjoy what we have for you planned. Oh yeah, speaking of, we got something really special for you guys planned sometime next month. Okay, sometime next month. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna be live. We're gonna do it live. We're gonna do a live stream as soon as I figure out how to work a computer. Maybe Chris, you could help me out with this because I don't know anything about computers.
And you're assuming I do.
I am,
Oh, that's weird.
dude. Well, you gamer, pro.
The
gamer,
new
you got the
generation.
gaming
You can't
chair.
just assume. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
You got, I was just thinking that you had the
Right.
propensity to that's not a word.
It could be. It could be.
Anyway, all right, brother. So, man, yeah, for people who don't know, me and Chris, we met when we was in Germany. We were in the same company. Yeah. Over there.
Explain to them what a company is there, Carl.
A company. Company.
Take it away.
Group of people assigned to the same unit. What is a unit? I don't know how to explain this. It's been so long since I was in the military.
I think it was
don't remember.
brigade company. Yeah. Or battalion company.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So say you work at Chick-fil-A, right? But you only work at that one Chick-fil-A, and there's a big overall chain of Chick-fil-A's. You work at one Chick-fil-A. That's what we worked at, one Chick-fil-A, a part of a chain of Chick-fil-A's. What are you doing? Who was that I just saw walk back there? Was that your beautiful lady? Get up
This
in
is
here.
Shauna.
So yeah,
Come here. You had to come in. It's too late now. You'd already
get
got
up
messed
in here,
up.
Shauna. So this
There's
is
Shauna,
Shauna's
Penelope.
beautiful fiance and her beautiful daughter. Look at her.
Say hi.
Look at her.
Just came back from getting water. I said lips a little
Yes.
blue.
Yo, look at you.
I don't want cancel culture saying she's like too cold or something. Her lips are blue.
What?
Hey, you're not taking care of that baby. She's cold.
She's cold. Her lips are blue.
It's 80 degrees
They freezing
outside.
off. You see what you need to do. See, that's
Yeah,
the only
exactly.
thing I don't like is people. What you need to do is this thing.
I don't know if you're allowed to. Are you allowed to express your opinions on stuff like that?
Yeah, I express my opinions.
Okay.
As long as they.
This
align
is
with
episode 4,
everybody.
right?
This is episode 4. Episode 4.
You don't want it to be the last, bro. You know.
I don't want to be the last. I'll express my opinions about anything that aligns with everybody else's.
That works.
Guys, Game of Thrones is awesome. I love Game of Thrones.
The ending. How about the ending, huh?
Oh man, what? Star Wars?
Stupid.
2 shows I've never seen. Dude, I don't.
You never watched Game of Thrones?
I didn't want.
Let's not get into it because I don't want to get mad.
Okay, we won't have to talk about it. But I'll tell you what, I'm not a fan.
You never watched it?
I watched the first season, bro.
Oh,
I
okay.
watched the whole first season. I sat there. I listened to all any TV show thing where there's too many names to remember and they're all ridiculous names. I don't like Harry Potter. I couldn't get into it. It was just because of the two. I'm a Hufflepuff. I'm a Skufliffleclorkian. I'm a Fliffliffliff. I just can't. I can't get into it. I can't get into Star Wars because it's like I'm a Sodolol. I'm a Sodolol.
No, I had actually. Everybody tells me how good Harry Potter is, this and that, and I gave it a shot. I rented the first 2, right? And I just couldn't get into it. Like everybody else is like, oh, blah blah blah. And I just saw on HBO Max they have the whole 8 movies out on HBO Max or whatever. And they keep telling me, oh, it gets better as they get older. And I'm like, why does a show or a movie series take 8+ years to develop?
Star Wars to me is the same thing that what's that thing called when they tried to redo Planet of the Apes first time Marky Mark Planet of the Apes,
right
when they tried to redo that, it was all about politics. It's like all these starships and fighters and stuff and lightsabers, and they were talking politics the whole time. I didn't get it. I was like, I could watch CNN here and be fine. I don't.
Well, when you watch movies like cult movies like that, you just got to kind of numb your brain and like dumb it down and like just watch it for what it is and what it isn't, basically. You know what I mean? Because you can't get into what you're seeing. You just have to watch the lightsabers and you'll enjoy it a little more.
Okay, I'll try. I mean, I'll
no,
try.
You don't. No. the ship sailed on that.
You know what? I messed up. I didn't play your theme music. Here we go.
You got a theme song for me?
I got a theme song for you, dog. It's delicious. You ready? Because you're such a powerful dude. I got you a powerful kind of cool theme song here. So let's check this out. Check this mug out. That ain't it. That ain't it.
Oh, first the laughter and now okay.
I need to mark these buttons. Here we go. Here we go. Hey. Okay. All right. Hey.
Who's that man does what he can?
Who's that man does what he can?
Do anything for his friends.
Do anything for his friends.
Play the ball sport.
Play the ball sport.
Softball, volleyball court.
Softball, volleyball court.
Fresher than he's ever been.
Fresher than he's ever been.
Proud to call him my friend.
I'm proud to call him my friend.
I don't got nothing to say.
I don't got nothing to say.
Bad about Christopher Taing.
Bad about Christopher Taing.
Christopher Taing, you know that we love him. Christopher Taing, you know that we need him. Christopher Taing, you know that we love him. Christopher, ah!
Christopher Taing. Come with the,
Oh my God.
That's pretty epic.
That was for me?
That was yours.
There's not another Christopher Taing,
There's no other Christopher Taings I know. I don't think one exists.
Let me check Facebook real quick.
If there's another Christopher Taing, I'm gonna find him and be his friend if he lives closer. Where you at, man?
Yeah.
Out in Philly?
Suburbs, man. You know,
Suburbs of Philly?
you gotta live. Yeah, about 45 minutes out. You know,
45 minutes outside of Philly.
but you know, it's like when everybody asks where you're from, you have to say Philly to sound cool, or just be like you don't know where Lansdale is, so you have to say Philly. You know,
Right. No, I definitely understand that. It doesn't matter where you say from here, unless you go. I'm from Oklahoma City, but now like Tulsa's getting famous because of all the race stuff. Like
Yeah.
all the the race riots and all that stuff is coming to light. Everybody's understanding what's going on here.
Yeah.
And
You know,
that new TV show. What's that joint? But dude, Tulsa's becoming like a place where people are moving, like making a bunch of movies, man, a bunch of TVs,
Yeah.
a bunch of movie stuff, man. There's a Leonardo DiCaprio movie coming out, Martin Scorsese. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, brother.
well, everybody wants to shine light on what's going on. I mean, to be honest, I didn't know about, you know, Black Wall Street and all that stuff until the show, you know, Watchmen.
Right.
That's when it really shined down. I was like, whoa.
Right. Yeah.
And I had to Google, and it's so bad where you have to Google to see if something like that really happened, and you see that it did, and you're like, it's crazy. And not a lot of people know about it.
Right, bro. Exactly. And that's what a lot of people are talking about. It's like if they didn't make that TV show, a lot of people wouldn't know about it. Dude, I didn't learn about it until high school.
Yeah.
I was in I think I was in the 9th grade, and the school I went to was like predominantly white at the time. Like I went to like black schools before that. Like never learned about it, bro. And I remember we had to take Oklahoma history, right? And like as big as that book was, that part, like the Tulsa race riots, was 1 page, bro.
Yeah.
And my teacher, like I can't remember his name. Shout out to the 10th grade Oklahoma history teacher, Broken Arrow. He like brought in this like stack, bro. Like he brought in a stack like thick for everybody, and was like, "Now we're gonna spend some time on this one." Yeah, he wasn't from here, and he was like, "We're gonna spend some time on this, and you're all gonna feel really terrible."
Good for him.
But you know what's funny? Like anytime we had to do stuff like that, like, you know, because there'd be like 1, maybe 2 black people in the class, right? 2 black kids. And like anytime like race stuff comes up, like we had to watch Roots. I remember in like the 11th grade, right?
Oh God.
And like every time like they say the N-word or something, like everybody be like,
and y'all sat in the back too, didn't you?
No.
I was gonna say, because everybody was in their back.
Man, I always sat in the front or I wouldn't learn, bro. Yeah. Like I am not I was not that kid. I sat in the front. I sat in the front everywhere. Like,
I still didn't learn.
I would sit right behind the bus driver. Like I was not cool, bro. They didn't let me back there. But bro, so yeah, we met in Germany. I don't know how we started talking. Like I don't know. I don't remember. Like
I think you know, when you find like the one black guy in your company, you have to be. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, no, I think I was supply, right? So I in processed a lot of people, everybody basically. And I always try to you know, befriend or even just be approachable. So, you know, you gotta come to me, get supplies. I don't want to be like, oh, you can't get no pens, but right. Be approachable at least. And I think, yeah, with you, I just knocked on your door and I kept harassing you to go out with me into town. And you're like, I just picked up drawing on YouTube with some charcoal stuff. I just want to stay home. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And every week, I think the 3rd or 4th week, you finally came out and it started a trend and we just started kicking it. Is that not accurate?
All right. Well, what I think what happened, like what I think really happened for real was no, that's actually true. That's actually true. I did not like going outside. Well, you know what happened? We went to, I remember the first time we hung out was at Chillers, because that's when Delgado came.
Delgado Rios.
Like, we're going out to eat right now. And I was like, all right. And we went to Chillers, and it was honestly the best burger I've ever had in my life, and it was at a train station in Germany.
Yeah.
Guys, a train station in
Yeah.
Germany called Chillers has the best burgers, which is funny because like, they're like California themed.
Yeah.
So it was like all this California type stuff. They were serving us drinks out of mason
Ah, I
jars. and they're
can't
like,
believe you remember that.
yo, dude, yeah, man.
Holy
Well, I went
crap.
there a few times after. So, but yeah, and then you guys were talking about going on a trip, and I was like, where you guys going? You know, blah blah. And you're like, we're gonna go to Croatia. Do you want to go? And I had just got to Germany, and I was afraid to fly to Germany, you know what I mean? But they made me. So I didn't want to
Yeah.
go. But I was like, all right, yes, this is gonna be my first time going out with a trip, you know. And we had a blast, man. We had a blast. I remember we went to for one, it was like me and you with only single people there. Everybody else was
Yeah.
married. So it was like 6 of us, right? And it was like us and then 2 other couples, right?
Shout out to the Coonies, right?
Shout out to the Coonies and the Delgados, man. Thank you for letting us tag along with y'all romanticness when we was in there acting crazy. We were acting crazy. That was my first,
Yeah.
like, I was like, I'm going wild. Man, we went to that club that, like, we were there, you know, that was probably that was the coolest thing I've ever experienced in my life. Like, but yeah, so we're in Croatia, right? And we're at this club, you know, dancing. It's that house music. Actually, it was kind of hip hop music. It was hip hop music, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And we're sitting there, and I'm looking around like dancing, but now I look up, cause let's be real, you know, you get some drinks on, you know, a taxi ride there and everything, you know. So by the time I got there, I didn't know what was going on, man. We were sitting there dancing, but I look up, I look around, and I was like, are we in a castle? I was like, I see like the pillars. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, partying in a castle.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is amazing.
That was insane. And we're all looking up like, oh, we are in a castle. Like, what's going on?
So, and I was trying to think about, like, you know, whoever like ran this castle back in the day, like,
Yeah.
like would they ever think that this would turn into a club
Right.
at one point where people would just
These young squires will come in here.
the young squires coming in, drinking, have a nice, rousing good time. That's basically what it was. Well, they were
Yeah.
Croatian. Why were they British?
Well, remember we met some Germans, and you're like, oh, that's not a big deal because they're only like an hour away. You really bursted my bubble. I took an Instagram picture with some Germans that I'm like, oh, you know, met some Germans in Croatia, no big deal. And he's like, yeah, it really is no big deal. So yeah, so there could be some British people there. Relax.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And then everybody, you know, like everybody loves like people that aren't from where you know, where they're from. So like everybody was like, you gotta come to our yacht tomorrow. and blah,
Oh
blah,
my
blah.
God, that was crazy.
I wanted to go. Like,
Are we
I
diving
wanted to-
deep into that conversation right now? Are we being like really? That was
don't have
that was no, we don't have to.
we don't have
That was
to.
crazy. That was crazy though.
Some
We
other
just
stuff
met some shady characters after
we missed it.
hours
Yeah,
that
we
were
stayed
trying
out too
to.
long.
I think they were. Yeah, they were trying to kidnap us for sure.
For sure. They were very touchy too. Like I
Yeah.
didn't like it. I don't like people-
He that guy for some reason had everything that he thought we needed. Like, how do you have every single thing? Like, you know, it was just weird.
I don't like when people drag their hand across my chest. That was weird.
I don't remember that, but okay.
It's all right. Remember? Oh, but dude, we can't deep dive to Croatia because the rest of that, like, I did things that like I never would have done just because we were like there, you know, like, and you just get too hype, and especially like their money is so less
Oh.
than what we were like
Crazy.
getting paid, so we felt like we were kings, and we acted as such. Like
Yes.
when they had those, what are those things? Those they had leader. It was a liter of Long Island iced tea in these long things, and they were $13.
It was something crazy. Like, I think it was cheaper than that, bro.
Was it?
It was something crazy. Because remember, we got dinner, 6 of us, and it was like $50.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we
For,
had
like,
steaks.
Yeah, appetizer,
We were eating steak.
appetizers, drinks, food, and it was like
Cooney got a
$50.
margarita pizza, and everybody
Oh.
else got steak.
Pizza Fridays. Don't forget.
Oh, yeah, pizza fry.
No matter what country you're in.
So we get, so I get the leader, right? We're on this beach, right? It's like a giant lake, basically, and it's set up where it's just a row of bars and clubs and restaurants facing the lake. and it was awesome. But I drank maybe halfway through like my liter of I drink a half a liter of Long Island iced tea, and at that point I was invincible. Um, and they had the bungee jump thing there, like you could bungee
Yeah.
jump. I'm terrified of heights, completely terrified. I said, I'll do that. Let me up there. I can do that. No biggie. Get up there and I jump off, but you're supposed to dive off. Like they hook you up to your legs and you're supposed to dive off and jump down like a normal, like like a swan dive
Right.
type of thing. That way there's no like recoil or nothing like that. I jumped off feet first because I was scared. I was too afraid to go. Yeah, so when I got in the bed, I snapped down like this or whatever, and everybody made fun of me. And when I did jump, like you guys got the video of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you still got that video. But there's a guy like screaming jump, jump, and then when I jumped on the thing, he was like, "No!" He's like, "He's gonna die."
It'll be his fault too if you did die.
I know. Had I been sober, I would have died.
Yeah.
Like my neck would have just.
Oh yeah, that was insane.
Beyond that.
What about when you you can't swim, can you?
Okay, look, I can stay alive. If I jump in the water, I won't die. But as far as like
But you panic level.
I'll die.
Okay.
I won't survive.
Well, you did risk your life for that guy's iPhone.
Okay, so so we were so they had a like I don't even know what you call a pier, I guess
Yeah.
you call it.
Yep.
Like a
Exactly
pier
like that.
where the restrooms were, right? So you'd walk out onto the pier and the restrooms over there. And we were out there just like talking. People were coming up to us. It was crazy. Like people talking to us, and I was talking loud. So like a bunch of people just like stopping and looking, and like we're all having this big conversation. And this guy just comes up from behind me and tries to Snapchat me. Like he's like, like snapping.
And this
me.
is before Snapchat was like big
It wasn't
at
even
all.
big. I didn't know what he was doing. So like I
Yeah.
freaked out and I was kind of like, and I knocked his iPhone into the water. And I was still off that half liter of Long Island. So I thought I could just jump in and go get it real quick. And it wasn't that deep. It really wasn't that
It's
deep.
pretty deep.
I'd say about 8 feet
Yeah.
at that point. It had to be about 8 feet. I jump in and immediately I'm like, oh, I can't swim right now. Like I am drunk. I can't swim. Like so the guy sit up there like, oh yes, he's gonna get my phone for me. So I'm down there. I'm like, I come back up. Chris is laughing. The black French dude who I just made friends with, he's dying laughing.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's sitting there laughing. I said, the guy jumps in and gets his own phone. He's so mad at me for knocking his phone in there and then trying to go get it and not being able to. And I was like, well, don't come up behind me, man. Don't come up behind me. But the French dude, which was funny because I was talking to, I don't even know who I was talking to. And the French dude comes around and he just sees me and I see him. And I realize this is universal for black people, I guess. Like another black person is there. He was like, hey! We are going to be best friends. This is going to be good. This is going to be awesome. And we are going to party later. Let's do it. And then like I came up and he was cracking up. I'm sitting there like, I'm asking for help. Chris is the only one that helped me. Everybody else is still laughing. I come up and help. He goes, you are so funny.
You're so funny. I remember.
This isn't a joke. I'm dying.
Oh, you're so funny. I remember
You're so
that.
funny.
Oh man.
But that's what that was. That was our first and like only trip together. We didn't take another trip together, I don't think. Like
Yeah,
no
not
more
after that
special.
traumatizing experience.
Oh man, it wasn't all bad.
Nah, it was cool. I think Carlos is a go-getter, right? And man, I think the walk to the bus station was longer than the walk that we took at that park.
From the Airbnb to the bus station.
Oh my! I know. He holds up like a map, like we didn't have Google Maps or something. You know, it's just.
It took an hour-long walk to the bus stop.
Yeah, that was
just right there.
And then when we almost died on the bus ride back, oh jeez.
Oh right. We were like going to some national park, and you have to drive basically. Well, you take a bus there, and you have to, it's we had to take a back way. I remember that. We had to take
They
a back
closed
way
the
coming
highway.
back because they had closed
Yeah.
the highway down. So this bus driver was like, "Oh, I know a shortcut." So, and it's one of those big like charter buses, right? And we're going down the side of a mountain in a charter bus. How fast were we going? 50?
Going at least 50, at least.
And we were flying. And it was hilarious. It was hilarious. Me and Chris were like, we trying to, and like all the guys that we were with, you know, trying to be tough for their wives, you know, but we were all freaking out.
Yeah, well, nothing. We didn't notice. We're all sitting there and on our phones or whatever. And Cooney's wife is just like, you just hear like a whimper, like from a little puppy. And we look back and like, and she like staring out the window. All of us like at the exact same time just look out the window like, oh, it's like, oh, oh.
It was like, oh, oh. Oh, we were like, what's wrong with her?
Are you cold?
We were like, oh my gosh, we're on the side of a mountain right now. Like other
Yeah.
cars are coming.
Oh, it was insane.
He was flying like he does this every day.
Insane.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
I did not want to go out on the side of a mountain in Croatia.
Yeah, but I don't know why we didn't take any more trips together.
I don't know. I took a lot more trips.
I guess the bars downtown were more important.
Poopage. We used to go to this part. We used to go to this bar called Poopage. I don't know how that became the move. Maybe because our friend Miriam worked there.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know why that was the move. That was not a. It was a dive bar. It was a German dive bar. You smoke inside type of thing. I don't know. We had some forgettable nights there.
Interesting times, yeah.
But outside of that, man. So one thing that I didn't do when I had Sam on, our other buddy from the military, is actually talk about the military because like we're all one-termers, so like
We're nothing special.
What was like, what was like some experiences like that you had that was like, that you were like, man, like I could stay in, like I could stay in the military.
You know what I think it all boils down to is like leadership. If you have, like for you guys, I feel like you guys kind of got lost in the mix because there's so many of you, you know what I mean? And you got guys in charge of you, but are they really in charge of, like, some guys didn't care. They're like your buddies and stuff like that. I had Brenda. Well, before Brenda, I had Staff Sergeant Benjamin. She was a badass, right? Staff Sergeant, I think got her promotable status a little later on. But anyway, she like did everything for me and like led me in the right direction and where it made me feel like a super soldier, like, like, oh man, like, oh, she's really pumping me up. Like, and it wasn't to the point, where she's like, yo, you have to be the best soldier ever, this and that. Like, we just did our job really well. And it kind of motivated me. And then Brenda came along after and kind of the same thing. She was remember when she first got there, bro?
I do.
So we were in an intel unit, and she came from a line unit, which is like, downrange and whatnot. She came in very high speed. Like these soldiers are all bleed. I don't know if I can curse on this show, but she's just going off about how soft everybody was and how at my old unit, that's the best saying ever. Like, it's my old unit this, my old unit that. But I think once she settled in, started to see how we all operated, and we actually got work done, and she started to become like one of the best bosses I've ever had, and which is weird because she's younger than me, and she's a female, obviously, and that never like deterred me from going to her as my mentor, and she just motivated the hell out of me. I think that's what kind of gives you purpose, you know what I mean? Because if you're just like, how many times, like for you didn't have a lot of missions, right?
No.
Yeah. So how motivating is that when you don't have like a drive to do something? You're just there day to day doing like little things here and there to get the day to go by. You know what I mean? That you're just like, I just want to go home after this. But for me, I really did want to go special forces unit, supply and help them out and all that stuff. But the IBM hack and everything like that happened with my security clearance. So, which didn't make sense to me. I had a secret clearance, and I had applied for a top secret clearance like you guys had, and it got postponed and pushed back because of that whole IBM breach. And so I had a temporary top secret clearance. All I needed was a regular secret clearance to join this unit in Florida, like down in Eglin. But their HR, or what do you know, HR in the Army, HRC, whatever, they're like, oh yeah, well, you have a temporary clearance. This is not going to fly. And I'm like, no, I have a secret clearance, but I have a temporary top secret clearance. And basically, long story short, they wouldn't let me go with that. So they're just trying to send me to some bullshit unit. And I was like, no, I'm good. So I just got out. If that answered your question, I kind of went.
No, it
astray.
absolutely did. It absolutely did. And you know, that's something that like, you know, could be said for any job, you know, like any, you know, if you got a corporate job or, you know, you work
Right,
at, you know, Chick-fil-A, it's like leadership, bro. It's like, you
right,
know, who can inspire you to do your job to the best of your ability. You know, it's like when I went from, you know, one sergeant I had, Sergeant No Name, to Sergeant
mm,
Ballvogel.
right,
You know, she made whenever they moved me from, you know, doing actual intel work to, you know, scheduling flights, uh, she made it to where I, you know, I was very comfortable scheduling flights because like,
right.
man, that was a hard job. Like, because I was the only one doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like we're supposed to be two of us. One of the guy, it's supposed to be two of us and a sergeant. The sergeant, I don't know what he was doing. I never knew what he was doing. And the other guy
Riding his
was
bike around.
really busy trying to get his wife, you know, like a, you know, visa and everything. So like it was like I was doing it, man. Like it was like all me for like the whole company, scheduling everybody's like flights and per diems for food for training for like 300 people for months. You know what I mean? Like it was a stressful job, man. Stressful job. You had to get people out on time. You had to get people's hotels and everything. And it was like, but she always backed me up. You know what I mean? Like she backed me up tough too. Like I remember when my I was supposed to do this do those, you know, promotion board or whatever, which they say is voluntary. They they said it voluntary. I said no. I said I don't want to go. Who? I caused some ruckus.
Yeah,
I caused a little ruckus.
yeah.
The brigade commander, she's like, well, who's the soldier that doesn't want to promote? And then the sergeant major's like, get him out of my army, blah. But they knew how I worked on a day to day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they knew how hard I worked
Yeah,
on a
you
day
work
to
really
day.
close with them, so
Well, I was really close with my sergeant major.
right,
So he
right,
had to go to the brigade sergeant major and be
right.
like, you know, and I talked to the sergeant major about it too. Like we had you know how like we're only supposed to like drive, like when you're driving, you have to have a battle buddy. And then like we're driving the sergeant major to the
Right.
range, and the range is like 40 minutes away, right? Like he's like, we don't need one. And it was just me and the sergeant major driving, bro. Like we had the dopest conversation for 40 minutes. He was just like, so what do you want to do, man? Like, you know, blah, blah. He's like, man, he's talking about acting. You know how straight. The second one, this was command sergeant major. God, I can't remember his name. Um, what was his name? Sergeant Major. I can't remember, but he was the one that talked really like really slow.
Yeah.
But he just goes, we had a great conversation. It was fantastic, man, and like you know, he was a good leader. You know, Vol Vogel, great leader. You know what I mean? Like people like that. Outside of that, I don't know too many people I would have stuck my neck out for like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that is like,
Exactly.
you making this like a lot harder than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Like you're making me not want to come back.
And that's and then their excuse is like, oh, that's the way that I was brought up in, in the army, blah blah blah. But it's like, really, it's like abuse. Do you want to repeat the cycle, or do you want to like break it and make it better? And
Right.
I think you had some younger guys that were trying to be better leaders than before.
Right.
But I mean, that was supposed to be us, but we
Right.
got out, and it's like, and I didn't feel like babysitting anymore,
Right.
that's a whole nother level. Where we got all the people that your guys didn't want to control, take care of, whatever. You just dropped them off to the O room.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I know what
Yeah,
you mean.
so-
Dude, so and you know it's funny because you know you come in to the military, especially like you know you see the rank and you see all the badges and all that stuff, and you think you know man, they got the answers. You're like, these people know what's going on. When they had moved
Yeah.
me from the Intel back to like the home office, basically moving from like, say you work at, I don't know, say you work at anywhere you work and you're working on the floor, like actually doing the thing. Like if you work in a factory, then you go work at the home office or whatever. Say you work in a warehouse and you go back to the home office and you sit in like a higher command meeting. I was like, oh, they don't know nothing.
Yeah.
They do the same thing, that we do. Like you do something wrong and then you try to weasel your way out of it or whatever. Like they were doing the
Yeah.
exact same thing. And the worst thing that ever could have happened was they were the brigade, not brigade commander, the company commander is talking to his captains, and one of the captains was like, well, I don't think we could do that because of blah 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 blah. And what are you, a colonel when you're a company commander, or not a company commander, but
Italian full bird.
battalion
Yeah.
commander, right? Yeah, he was like, I think we can do that. Collins, we can do that, right?
I'm
Like,
sorry. Yeah. Lieutenant colonel for a battalion and full bird for a brigade.
yeah, okay, lieutenant
Yeah.
colonel,
Yeah.
right. And the lieutenant colonel, like, he looked at me like, because he know I work with her every day or whatever I was
Yeah.
doing. He was like, we can do this, right? We could do that, blah blah blah. Like, that's not impossible, And he was basically like saying, like, you don't know what you're talking about. Collins knows what it is,
Yeah.
what's going on. And he said to me, and I was like, bro, you gonna make my life miserable. What are you doing? But I was like, yes, sir. It's like, how can we do it? We can do it like this, and it'll be possible. And
Make
it
sure you stand
doesn't
behind
take
them
much.
too.
Oh my gosh, I was like, you just made my life. I know. Well, now I got a target on my back. Thank you, sir. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Can't wait for the basketball game. So hype about. Um,
Yeah. He did. He loved his sports,
they
didn't he?
love that stuff, man. Like, all the extra stuff. It's like mandatory fun days. Do you guys have mandatory fun days at your companies? Do you guys have potlucks and cookouts that you don't want to go
They
to?
got
you
pizza
gotta go
parties and
to?
stuff.
I love them now. I
Yeah.
love them now. I hated them then. Like,
Well,
when
because you
you're in,
didn't talk to anybody.
you just want to go home. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, I like what we do. Like, you know what I'm saying? My job now, like, I love, like, I'll try to make something better than what everybody else bring.
Yeah.
Bring a little cheesecake.
And that's a thing. This is, we're like, kind of to caveat off that is like leadership, right? How it's so different, like um we were garrison, so every year we had a new company commander, and every 2 years I think it is,
Every two.
battalion commander, something like that.
Mhm.
So the first one, I forget what his name was, lieutenant colonel, I don't know, but he loved to run his ass off. We just ran all the time, so every PT was just like a run day. And then when the new one that you were talking about loved sports, so we we had sports for PT. It was just a whole different dynamic. Then the third one, I think it was CrossFit. It was just so crazy.
It was all CrossFit. That is what happens.
Yeah.
Like, whatever the new lieutenant colonel is like about, that's what we're about. It's like, okay, guys, I'm really into crochet, so we're gonna have a crochet night. It's not mandatory, but it is mandatory. You're like, that's like that whole thing about all right, guys, formation. If the lieutenant colonel says the formation's at 6 a.m. tomorrow, we're gonna be there at 4:30. We're there at 4:30 because somebody told somebody else 5. Somebody else told somebody else.
Exactly.
Oh man, hey man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you talking to me, and I appreciate you taking the time out to get on your stream here, taking time out from your beautiful family.
Oh, thank you.
I had a game
appreciate
set
it.
up, but I can't get my computer to work to do it.
It sounds good.
So we'll just imagine we had a game.
Okay.
Right? This is what we'll do. We'll imagine we had a game,
Mhm.
and you're gonna win because you're a winner, right? So Shiloh, put 10,000 points for Taing for being awesome. Hey, all right, yeah, there it is. I really do appreciate it, man. And you have a great man. I'm gonna try to get out to Philly.
Yeah,
Or
maybe I want
Lansbury.
Lansbury.
We'll go out to Lansbury.
Well,
What's Lansbury known for?
Lansdale, fool. And I
Oh,
think it's
Lansdale.
what are we known for? Yeah, the Kugel ball. The Germans knew about the Kugel ball. It's a globe that spins on water. It's like made out of marble that people piss in and shit like that. So,
What?
I don't know.
This is like a statue. This is
Well,
one thing.
yeah, it's like a rolling ball on water.
Man, we got one of those at the zoo.
Yeah. Well, you don't have the Kugel ball.
No, we don't.
Google it.
We
The
call it
Germans
something
knew.
better.
The Germans literally knew about it.
All right, well. Weil das ist alles für diese Vögel
Alles
von
gut?
die Serien Your Best Friend Carl. Ich bin Karl, das bin Chris und wir haben eine große Zeit hier und Dankeschön. Bis später.
Bitte.
Oh, wait, we got to sing the song. All right, well, we reached that point in the show where we leave and go home and finish up the rest of our lives. Yes. So I just got to say, if I can get this thing to go again. So sorry. There we go. Yeah. And this is the theme song. This is the theme song for you. And this is the theme song. Yes. This is the theme song. It goes B-E-S-T. Friends. B-E-S-T. Friends. B-E-S-T. Friends.
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 Friends. Hey. It's all late. Like and subscribe. Bye.
And this is the theme song. And this is the theme song for you. And this is the theme song.